Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how to make this amazingly tasty suya recipe. Yes, I do have a recipe already on this channel, but I did get quite a lot of requests from people asking how to make their own suya spice, so I thought why not. So this is more about the suya spice than the suya itself, but you can always have more than one recipe now, can't you? So without further ado, let's get on with it. So I will be using sirloin steaks for this recipe. You can use any other soft or tender beef cut that you prefer. You can ask your local butcher for recommendations, but I typically use sirloin or ribeye for suya. These have been pre-cut, but they're not as thin as I would like them to be, so I will be doing that in a minute. To prepare, I will be tenderizing the beef by spreading on my chopping board and covering with cling film. Using a meat mallet, I will be pounding until it's thinner and more tender. If you haven't got a meat mallet, you can use a hammer or you can use a bottle or just anything to pound it really. And after tenderizing, I will proceed to cut into bite sizes. Please be sure to cut against the grain, and this is to keep the meat pieces soft, easy to chew and digest. I will be finishing the rest off camera, and that's just so the video is not unnecessarily long, and I'll be back. Once I'm done with the beef, I'll mix some vegetable oil, onion powder, garlic powder, chicken cubes, and salt together. So you can use pretty much any kind of oil that you prefer. You can use sunflower oil, whichever one is fine to be honest, but I love to use vegetable oil. And after mixing, I will be pouring this over my beef. And after massaging deeply into the meat, I will be covering with some cling film and then leave to marinate for about 4 hours. You can do anything between 2 hours and overnight, although I strongly recommend that you do overnight, and that's just so the meat can be really flavorful. And that's it with the beef. Another important step is to soak your barbecue skewers in water. You can do this for about 4 hours or overnight, and this is just so the sticks don't burn while you're grilling. And once I'm done marinating the beef, I will be layering them onto my skewers just as I'm showing. So I should mention at this point that if you're struggling to find skewers, you really don't need it. It's not that important. It doesn't add any flavor or anything to the recipe. It's just to keep the meat in one place. So if you've got a big enough tray that you can layer the meat on without overlapping, then feel free to do that. You don't need to use skewers. Now, once I'm done layering the skewers, I will be transferring into a tray that's big enough to hold them, and then I will begin to add some suya spice. In case you're wondering, but she hasn't shown us how to make the suya spice now. Don't worry, I will be showing that at the end of the video. I was just trying to make everything nice and tidy, but at the end of the video, like I said, there will be a demonstration on how to make yours. So I will be patting down and just make sure that the suya spice is well distributed around the meat. And once I'm done with that, I will be arranging onto a roasting rack with a tray to hold the drippings. This will be transferred into my oven and it will be roasted at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 minutes. You can also use an air fryer, but when I did that, I didn't really like the taste. I don't know, it just wasn't as nice as the oven baked one, but it's up to you if you want to use that. And after 25 minutes, this is what it looks like. I had to flip them once, I think around 15 minutes mark, and that's just so they cook evenly. So this is fine for me, and I will be showing you how to make the suya spice now. The most important ingredient for suya spice is kulikuli. Kulikuli is a fried snack made from peanuts, ginger, and some other ingredients. If you haven't got kulikuli, you can also use peanut powder, although it's not going to taste exactly the same because, like I said, it also contains some more ingredients other than peanuts. For full disclosure, I didn't really like this kulikuli. This particular brand was, I don't know, it just tasted a bit burnt, and as you can see, the color is a lot darker than normal. So whatever you do, please buy the darker beige color or the light brown color. This wasn't it at all. I didn't like it. We also need some uda, also known as alligator pepper or grains of salim. We only need to use a couple of this, otherwise the suya spice will taste bitter. So this is what it looks like. We also need some calabash nutmeg, that's ehuru, bouillon cubes, ginger powder, onion powder, salt, chili powder, and some garlic powder. So here I've got a pan on medium heat, and once it heats up, I will go in with my calabash nutmeg and the alligator pepper. All we're doing here is just to sort of roast for about 2 to 3 minutes, and this is just to release or activate the flavors. And once that's done, I will be taking it off the heat. So the next step is to crush my kulikuli, and to do that I will be pouring that into a bag and then hitting with a meat mallet until it is crumbled. The reason for doing this is because I don't like to use my blender for anything sharp, and you really shouldn't, especially if your blender is plastic, because all it's going to do is just leave marks on your blender and also make it cloudy, even if it's a glass blender as well. I prefer to use a mill, but the mill that I've got, as you can see, is quite small. So I will be transferring the crumbled kulikuli into the mill and then add just 3 of the ehuru seeds and also 2 of the uda seeds. You can add more if you want, but like I said, it does make it a bit bitter. And after transferring, I will be covering with the lid and then grind until smooth. Please be very careful when you're doing this, because if you grind for too long, it will begin to release oil and that will make it wet. So don't do it for too long. It's okay if it's not super smooth, that's fine. So this is what it looks like after grinding, and I'm satisfied with this, so I'm just going to set it aside. Now, just to thoroughly combine the rest of the ingredients, I will be transferring them into the mill and then grind until smooth. Well, not really grinding anyways, I'm just trying to combine them. So I will be doing that just now. So this is what it looks like after combining, and I'm satisfied with this. So I will be transferring some of the kulikuli into here and then combining again. And once that's done, I will be transferring into a bowl, and this is your suya spice. I should confess here that this did not taste exactly like the aboki ones. In fact, I don't think anyone can actually get that proper aboki suya flavor, but it's better than nothing. It did taste very good, yeah, it did, but for full disclosure, it didn't taste exactly like the aboki ones, because the aboki is a benchmark for ultimate suya spice. So just so you know. And this is what it looks like. Can you see how beautiful my suya looks? Well grilled and absolutely delicious, I tell you. Anyway, will you be trying this recipe? If you do, please let me know how you get on by leaving me a comment in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video. Please like this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.